Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30-plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. And for today, I usually say today and then I say the date, right? 6/6/2025. It's a Friday. I'm going to go through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, but I'm actually going out of town, so it's a little weird because I have to get things in order, but I pretty much got everything in order before I got to go. Metronomus, good to see you. All right, I hope everyone's having fun with their Switch too. Let's see. You know what? I'm just seeing something. I got to remember before I leave. I gotta get the electric razor, just clean a little bit there. Hey, Jam Killex, good to see you. Okay, let's get into today's show. Let's see what I've got. And what do I have? It's not too much, guys. I didn't really play yesterday. Did I really not play anything yesterday? Work was busy. I got off work and was doing stuff, and I just didn't get around to playing any games. Is there maybe another? No, I was actually multitasking when I was playing SDG, Generation Eternal, whatever. Doing the Stardust Memory event where you can get those suits. I love that they have the development tree and you can go in and build your suits. But anyway, I think I did a little bit of that yesterday. Yeah, I didn't play any games. I did have the Gundam Explained podcast, so maybe that took up some time. I don't know. But because of that, we'll just jump into some news. And there is a game coming out this month that, did I know about it and I forgot about it? How did I not know about it? And I'll show it to you guys here in a second. You know what? I was watching a video. What is his name? MVG? Something like that. MVG or MGV. Anyway, it's a dude who does some, I think, development work on the Switch for Night Dive Studios, and he was going through like the backwards compatibility of a lot of Switch titles on the Switch too. And there were some that showed some great improvements. He was showing a Bayonetta 3 at 60 FPS on the Switch too. So that is a huge deal. That was the thing about Bayonetta 3 when it came out on the Switch is like, of course I want to play Bayonetta 3. But at that frame rate, actually, let me look. Okay, Bayonetta. Oh, Wii U. Wii U is, and I don't know if it tracks Wii U on here. Or at that time when I had played, on the Wii U, the Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 pack. Well, I think I've got a good reason to get back into the game. Although, you know what I would do? I'm going to check real quick. If, was Bayonetta ever put on Steam? It was. And there's a Bayonetta and Vanquish bundle, which makes a lot of sense. But I have Vanquish. Would I replay Bayonetta on PC? That actually seems like a good idea. Let me play through 3 first, but I want to go back. I really like the Bayonetta games. I really do. Yeah, and I remember playing through 2. That was insane. 2 was insane. Okay. No, I think the Wii U stuff, and I could be wrong, but I don't think the Wii U stuff reflects on Exophase. Let me. What is, if I go to Nintendo, see, yeah, it shows the Switch. So yeah, I think it's not going to show what I did, yeah, on Wii U at all. Yeah, and I only think it started tracking on Exophase. I wonder if it was that. That's interesting because or yeah, maybe I use Exophase then. Hmm. Yeah, that's true. Actually, autonomous. Good point. Because if I still had the Wii U, I I could look at the stats, select platform. It's got to be on here. It's not. So, oh yeah, Wii U. Here we go. And then yeah, Bayonetta. Okay, so although I don't have access to any of that, if I in some way have some sort of access to be able to view stats or playtime from previous games, it would be cool to go through here and start building that out. But I think the idea of what I've been doing is moving forward. It's like making sure when I'm playing a game, is there a way I can track it for future use? So, okay. So, that's it. I guess I'm trying to pad game playing, but I really didn't do too much. And I might be doing some on this trip coming up because I'm bringing my Switch and 3DS. I'll probably play mainly 3DS because of that Gundam game. But let's look at some news here. This one looked pretty cool. I don't know how interesting it is to everybody, but let me get this back up. Newest leaked Battlefield 6 footage shows explosive tank gameplay. I don't know how much this is really leaked or, they, what do you call it? Where they plan these things out. A controlled leak. All right, I'm waiting for this to play. It was actually just playing. I was watching before. I wish X had an expand within browser instead of the entire window. Okay, interesting that I'm just gonna refresh it real quick. Anyway, the reason I'm looking at Battlefield 6 is when Battlefield 2 first came out back, I don't know, what was that, 2003, 4, 5? I forget. It was pretty amazing to me, and I feel like the subsequent Battlefields have been pretty fun, but I think maybe they came out with too many of them real fast, and there was not an interesting enough progression for me to necessarily stick with them. They seem to be pastimes when they come out, but I've always had fun with them. There's a bit of realism to these in a way, even though it's a little bit more exaggerated. But I think it helps fills that atmospheric sort of what the CNN Gulf War, footage stuff, compared to like a Call of Duty, where there's a lot of jumping around, throwing random gadgets everywhere. So I'd be excited to play this, but okay, here we go. It's a little small on here, but and super exaggerated explosions, action happening. But just what I'm witnessing from that is within all of that exaggeratedness is a different type of shooter, multiplayer shooter that needs to be back out there. It is interesting though how they dropped the ball recently on this stuff. I think that's just a bigger thing we've been seeing in the industry underneath where a lot of these big legacy companies are having their talent leave. But all right, this is interesting. Black Myth Wukong for Xbox Series launches August 20th. Yeah, 1 year after the PS5 PC release. Yeah, so enjoyed Black Myth Wukong, got about halfway through, and I was like, I think I've done everything. There's nothing compelling for me to go through it. There's a few things going on with that. Black Myth has a really good combat system. It as you start unlocking skills and abilities, this happens in games sometimes where it's just arbitrary skills to use. It's like, okay, now I've got a whole bunch of things, and I guess in a way that's so that you can make the game play your own. But I guess it gave me a lack of direction in the game because also the way it's built, and I think it's on Epic or it's built in Unreal. It's one of those games where everything is Unreal assets, everything looks realistic, but the actual characters themselves are amazing. So there's this juxtaposition I'm having trouble solidifying, and that's what the game is trying to present and the gameplay. And that's more of a deeper thing. Because part of me feels like, would I then feel like going back to play Black Myth Wukong? And it's like, I don't know, because while it's a good combat system, it's not like it's doing anything new or different that So so when then there's other games that come out that might be same mechanically, if it's doing something a little new or different, I'm gonna jump to that. Um, Sony unveils its own internally designed fight stick, Project Defiant. Pretty cool, huh? I think it's really cool that Sony is making their own fight stick. I think Xbox should also. Um, I I used to use fight sticks a lot. Let me check something. And I used to use fight sticks a lot, and I think it was just due to I ended up playing really just like in my living room. I guess nowadays I do play more games on my desk. I didn't used to on my computer desk. I used to just do it for computer games, but if there's something that could be on a console, I would do that. But lately it's just been, and so it is easier to fight stick on a desk. But I think over time, I remember when I first heavily got into fight sticks was the Mad Cats. It was Street Fighter 4 that I was like, okay, I'm going to start, using the fight sticks more often. And that was pretty fun. But I just revert back to using a gamepad. It's just easy to sit there with a gamepad on my lap if I'm somewhere on a gamepad. What helps is, and I have it somewhere else, but I have that controller that has the 6 face buttons that allows you to pull off more moves. I remember that was a big deal. Was it Dreamcast? Because it only had the 4 face buttons for fighting games. And I forget if I actually got a different type of third-party controller or something for the Dreamcast. I don't know. Anyway, Xbox should. I was about to say Nintendo. They don't need to. Xbox should do a fight stick, especially with Killer Instinct. Sure, it's not. Speaking of Killer Instinct, guys, and I'm going to move on anyway. I don't know if I showed you guys this before. My Killer Instinct on Xbox has 484 hours. That's a lot. Did I really play it that much? It says I've reached 80 fight challenges with Orchid. I mean, 80 is a lot. But there was a time where me and my wife were playing this a lot, and maybe it went up that high. That's crazy to think. And the last time I played it was in 2023. I could check out. But all right, we're gonna move on real quick. I can only imagine how much time I spent on old PS1 games that could have been tracked in the 90s. Yeah, man, so here's the other thing, and this is kind of, well, I guess a mistake, but not really. So I had all my old memory cards and I sold everything. I could have looked at the data on the memory cards, and I might do that if I have something still around that I could do that with, and maybe manually put them in. I got to remember that, Autonomous. You've always been good at reminding me that I can really manually track a game if I absolutely have to. Okay. Yeah, we just got the Sony thing. Okay, Xbox Game Pass titles for June include EAFC 25 and FBC Firebreak. I feel bad because my youngest, although it was last year, so it's been a while, just bought EAFC 25, but it actually had been a while. So here's interesting that FBC Firebreak. This is the Control in Alan Wake world game made by Remedy. This is a multiplayer only, like kind of PvE live service game. So I'm actually glad it's going to be on Game Pass because there is, other than its unique look, which I applaud it for, there's no reason I would jump into it. But because it's going to be on Game Pass and there's probably going to be other people I know that are going to jump on and be like, hey, this just came out on Game Pass, let's try it. It'll give me a reason to throw in some time. The other interesting thing we see on here is that Space Marine Mastercraft Edition. Is it Mastercrafted Edition? I love the Space Marine game, and Space Marine 2 just came out last year, and it just kind of fell flat for me. But if they're able to modernize the older one, it will still be a better game, in my opinion, than the second one. I don't like the setup of the second game where, like, you do a level and then you're just back in the hub world. There's no sense of journey or exploration since it's not like level after continuing on this journey. It's like, okay, you're back in the hub. Oh, we can set up multiplayer. Oh, we can do this mission. There's less of a connective tissue between myself engaging with the game and what the game is doing. Even if for me, I don't really care too much about story, but it's about atmosphere, and Space Marine 2's atmosphere was about around the co-op. And I find that to be a very interesting thing when developers are making games and they want to add co-op elements. Sometimes they lean too far into it, looking like a live service game or a multiplayer game. I wish there was a way, and they've done this, to make the multiplayer more seamless. And I always bring this game up, and that is, and I wonder if I can pull it up on here. Siphon Filter? No. Siphon Filter Omega Strain, one of the best multiplayer games I've ever played in that style, where it's a game you can just play on your own by yourself, but you can go into lobbies, have other people join. But the way the maps, think if you had like an open world map, think back to what that game did. It's kind of like how Sniper Elite has those big open worlds, but that you could do co-op. And actually, maybe you can do this in Sniper Elite, and I haven't really, but Omega Strain was designed where characters that are working together can be at opposite ends of the map, doing things that might affect other things. Way more realistic of a co-op game than co-op, where it's just, oh yeah, drop another guy in with you. Which, and I know I'm getting a little ranty, that should be default. When you're designing a game, you should design it to be, not change it, but make it to where another player could just pop in and you could do co-op with, but without changing the core mechanics. Yeah, something like that. Man, whatever happened to Siphon Filter? I remember it being really popular. Yeah, I played the original like a little, but it wasn't until Omega Strain that, because they did a lot in Omega Strain, they even redid the character controller animations, and they did a lot with the animation of the character running to make it look more like a human taking steps and moving. So it kind of felt, anyway. And then they had the PSP games, and I played through and beat those. They weren't as good as Omega Strain, but it was still fun. And yeah, I think Autonomous, that is a IP Sony should continue with, even if they're just, more budget third-person action games. I think that there's a market for that. Okay, Seinfeld 2. I don't remember that one exactly. I wonder if one day I will go back. Okay, so yeah, that was the Game Pass stuff, which it's pretty cool. There's the Crash 4, I think that's already been on there before. Alters, I don't know too much about, but okay. There wasn't too much interesting about this. Just Mark Rubin leaves Ubisoft. XDefiant officially shuts down. I don't know. Call of Duty. Let's see. He has worked on several successful Call of Duty titles, including Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Amazing games. He has recently announced that he will be leaving the video game industry and will not be involved in another game. Oh, wow. So after XDefiant, which, here's the thing, XDefiant wasn't bad. It's just one of those where it's just another one. And the other thing, and I feel like there's this aesthetic that works against games sometimes. And if you make your game seem like the reality that your player is playing in is a game. Rocket League is like that, but I think Rocket League works because it's such a unique thing that they're doing. And XDefiant, just sometimes when you're playing the game, it just looks like you're in a thing set up for that, and it feels. And this is just a personal thing, actually. It might not matter to other people, but I feel like there's a disconnect that happens when you're playing a game. And Fortnite does this sometimes, but again, Fortnite's different enough where the game itself is the game that you're playing. It's almost like self-aware, because in Fortnite, when you die, the little thing like teleports you away, because the idea is you're not really dying here. But would that even matter because you're playing the video game for the story? Interesting. I might think about that a little more. Okay, here's something completely random. Truxton, Extreme. I had no idea this was in the works. I guess this news just came out, and Clear River Games never Heard of them? That set picture game. Interesting. Clear River Games specializes in physical games for consoles. Is that how this works then? So they're coming out with... Oh, okay. Lollipop Chainsaw's on there. Trails in the Sky. Interesting. So do they... Wow. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these cool games. Under Defeat, Assault Suit Lanos, even Karateka, whatever. I've pronounced it right before, trust me. Ender Lilies, huh? Interesting. This is a very, and even have Ease, Death Smiles 1 and 2. Well, what's that? I mean, I know what that is, but is this like? I wonder if they do the physical. Like, is this just a physical company, or is this? We focus on publishing high quality classic game franchises. Okay, so they're just a game publisher, but will also part of the Embracer Group. Okay, there's a couple cool things here about that. Embracer is more on the bigger end, but to just have a subdivision that does stuff like this, that's pretty cool because we're getting these smaller, more niche games, but also getting them physical too. I'm glad we're seeing a lot of companies still do that. I thought that was just going to be gone. X Defiant was still going. You know what? Good question. I thought that was already closed, and they made it sound like they just shut it down. I remember playing Street Fighter 2 with cheat codes, just frying guys with the air taser. Oh, Street Fighter 2, Siphon Filter 2. Yes. Yeah. I know what you're talking about with the air taser. Okay. With the remaining time, I want to show you guys something really awesome I came across. Have I heard about this before and didn't know? But we're going to look at a game called Chronicles of the Wolf. And you'll see why I find this to be an interesting game. Game, go ahead and start for me, please. Play Asteroids for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, let's... P-Cube, I've heard of him. Made with Clickstream Fusion. Oh, that's cool that they put that there. Okay. This is called Chronicles of the Wolf. Full screen windowed. Is that it? Because the resolution's not that great, but this is just a demo, guys. Let's see if this reminds you of anything. You know what? I wonder if the part of it, look, there's like this chromatic aberration. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose.
For hundreds of years,
the Rose Cross Order has shielded mankind from the evil which lurks in the shadows. But like weeds, those shadows can grow long, reaching out to claw away at the fabric of society. Okay, I read the story.
Apprentice Matteo Lombardo, come forward. You have trained hard for many years.
This seems pretty sick.
It is time to put your skills to use. You will go with the Knights of the Rose Cross Order to the region of Gévaudan in France. Upon returning from this quest, you will earn your place as a Knight of the Rose Cross Order. But first, show us that you are prepared.
Let's do it. I am prepared to jump, Master. Wait, what's this? Oh, when you're on a platform. Okay. On a rope. Oh, really weird. Oh, to slide down the rope. Attack. Charged attack. That's cool. Special attack is the main weapon.
Very good. Now, go to France and fulfill your mission.
All right, Darth Vader. So obviously this is a
With
Castlevania
his
like.
training completed, Matteo Lombardo set off with the Knights of the Rose Cross Order to southern France. he knew nothing of the horrors that would face him at their destination.
Okay, right now I really want to just get into gameplay.
Get up now. This place is not safe. I hear them. They are approaching. I have to go. Meet me in the clearing to the east.
Uh-oh. Where are my swords? Well, I gotta start over. Okay, so this is, to me, very Richter Belmont inspired. Just, especially that, like, charge. Okay, it feels good to attack. Okay, there's a wolf there. Going back. I'll just jump in this. Secret wall. No forward dash to run. So this could be, I don't have a map yet, a Metroidvania. I don't know exactly if it's more just a platformer. Love it. Love it when I know. Some walls are fragile and can be broken. Just like my soul. This seems to be the case for the wall on the far left. Well, thanks, ominous voice out of nowhere. So, tap, hold them. Yeah, this feels less like a Metroidvania in controls and more like Rondo of Blood, specifically. Jackie Lennox. Okay, There's still no menu option yet. Poison out. Lightning. Oh. Okay. I was about to say. Oh, seriously. In a lot of Castlevanias, like especially the earlier ones, the first bosses, first few bosses, the one that jumps around, and I thought I was gonna fight him. That was kind of funny. Oh. I got a cure potion. Not that I know how to use it. This statue emits a soothing glow. It should be checked. I need to check this. It'll probably save my game. Or freeze the game. Alright, so that then does have some of the Metroidvania qualities of the, there's a save point, unless that's just a checkpoint. There's still no map. I suppose. Cool. I really like the artwork because it's not typical pixel graphics. It has kind of its own little just 2D look to it. Okay, that isn't it. Yeah, my health went down a whole lot. Probably it's gonna tell me how to use a potion.
Don't go dying on me now.
Oh, look, I'm at a house. Very Order of Ecclesia. Inhaled gas. The last handsome guy to come around here was killed by the beast. That's probably the last boss thing. Looks like I can jump down there, but not. Okay. Alright, now we're in a village. Still no map. I need a save point or something. That was the left trigger. That was the left trigger. Interesting. Right trigger is the map. Oh, there you go. Okay. Let me find a safe spot. But do I need to? This is just a demo. Full game. Well, full game comes out the 19th. So this is gonna be a releasing soon. Okay. How do I? Okay, I'm liking everything about this. I am totally gonna buy it when it comes out. Let's look at the store page. All right, June 19th, 2025. This is great. Hunt the legendary beast of in Chronicles of the Wolf. Wait a minute. Oh, I was thinking Brotherhood of the Wolf. Have you guys seen that movie, French film? And they talk about going to France. I wonder if it's supposed to be a similar story. I don't know. Yeah, isn't this just the Brotherhood of the Wolf story? That's pretty cool, actually. I love that movie. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. That was a lot of fun. Have fun this weekend doing your thing. Actually, let me look at the text real quick. Let's see. Never seen him inspiring that. Always the church's fitness. Oh yeah, floating Catholic priest. That bodes well. Classic Mania needs no maps, only moving right. Yeah, exactly. Like inverted NASCAR. Well, cool. Okay. Well, yeah. Guys, thanks for the chat. That was fun. That was actually fun to play. And talk about at the same time. I'm getting better at that, playing and talking. All right, guys. I'm gonna head out. This was a lot of fun. Have a good one. We'll talk later.